All right, welcome back to the Innovation Stage, brought to you by M12. Our next speaker is Kyle Giddens. He is the CEO of Medcase Health. Please join me in welcoming Kyle to our virtual stage.
Hi, thanks so much. Really looking forward to being here and presenting to all of you. So my name is Kyle Giddens, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Medcase Health. And we're democratizing access to healthcare globally. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how large tech companies and others are entering into healthcare and the reasoning why that is, and the transformation that's occurring for your average clinician or average new gig doctor. So let's talk about the new normal. In a post-COVID world, it looks a lot like this guy who's hanging out in his pajamas at home speaking to his cat. What that means is this person doesn't want to go into the office and is happy to work from home close to the fridge, just like me. And in that case, they're looking for new opportunities and new revenue streams so that they can work comfortably at home in their pajamas. And something that's happening for clinicians is now they can, because there's a huge change that occurred in the United States where most aspects of telehealth are now covered. And so this unlocked a huge, massive market representing $50 billion this year alone, and expect to grow to over $500 billion by 2027. What that means is healthcare is never going to be the same. And with this huge market, well, you have new market entrants. And who do we know best? Or one brand that we know best? Well, Amazon. Amazon saw this opportunity and acted quickly to release Amazon Care, their telehealth offering. And the reasoning why is that they saw this as an opportunity not only to become a primary healthcare provider and therefore to own stickiness for their customers, and not only to generate billions of dollars in new revenue for the company, and not only to take that value and increase their stock price by over $1 trillion+ in the long run, but really because they see this as the future and growth of their business, and especially an AI related business. And so we're just right now at the beginning of that journey, whereby you're capturing great customers, or in this case, patients who need help from clinicians, and delivering better healthcare outcomes with large scale AI and data learning. And so it's not only Amazon who saw this opportunity, but other companies like Microsoft, who just purchased Nuance for over almost $20 billion. And for those who are wondering, hey, what does Nuance really do? Nuance went super deep into the healthcare vertical and is actually responsible for, in some cases, 75% of all transcriptions done by clinicians. And so when clinicians have to write up their notes, instead of writing them up, they just speak it to Nuance. And so Microsoft saw this as a huge opportunity for themselves to own that clinician and therefore their patients and that whole AI data flow. And that allows them to build better AI capabilities, as they say, across healthcare. And really, they also see the opportunity not only in billions of dollars in new revenue, but that next $1 trillion in the market cap that they're reaching, because healthcare is a very big and expensive problem. And when you do it right, you change lives for the better. And the thing about clinicians is when you work with them, there's many things that you can do that's outside of healthcare. You can do telehealth, you can do AI data and annotation and labeling, or surveying, and hundreds of other use cases. Working with clinicians is extremely valuable, and companies are looking for new ways to work with clinicians. And the way clinicians want to work with companies is changing as well. And that all plays into what makes a company be competitive when bringing their AI to market. And let's take Nuance as an example and why Microsoft purchased them. This gave Microsoft proprietary access to data that they're able to build a great machine learning moat around. And others don't have that data, but they need to transform that data and make it relevant to clinicians. And that's why they needed access to clinicians. And so they are able to take the raw data and transform that data. And then they already are entrenched. And so they have a competitive access to customers that others don't have. And so when you look at your AI strategy for your company, you have to see which one of these three things you have or don't have and need to borrow or buy. And that's what's really important. And that's actually where we come in as a company. Because there's many reasons businesses work with clinicians, but it's actually very tough to gain access to clinicians because they're busy and they're not really in a centralized location waiting around for work for you. And that's really where we come in. We handle the compliance and access of clinicians. And so today, I'd like to talk to you about what we're doing as Medcase Health, which is the first global marketplace for on-demand clinicians, where you can find a doctor in 20 plus different countries, speaking 24 different languages, across 24 different subspecialties, all waiting for you to work. And we make this process completely frictionless. So you can work with clinicians in the US, Canada, Portugal, Japan, Australia, South Africa, Nigeria, you name it, we're here with clinicians available on demand as gig doctors available to work with you. And we handle all the compliance, all the payments, and everything. And we make it super easy to spin up from 1 to 1,000 plus clinicians for whatever the case may be. So if you need clinicians for AI data annotation workflows, we have you covered. Surveying to hear feedback on your medical device, we have you covered, or telehealth or other aspects. And so we are already working with small startups and Fortune 15 and Fortune 500 clients alike. And let's just take one startup as an example, Zebra Medical, a leading AI healthcare company providing tele x-rays and teleradiology service. And so they say it best that working with us is a seamless and scalable process. And so whether you need one clinician or 1,000 clinician for whatever back end or backbone of your company that you're looking for, we have you covered. So in summary, when you're looking at your AI strategy, just like Microsoft did, look at if you have access to the data that you need. If you don't, you can reach out to us and you can gain access to healthcare data for data enrichment purposes. Or if you need access to clinicians to transform the data that you have, we're also here. And in addition, when you're deploying your solutions with customers and you want to do surveying, we also have you covered. So if there's anything else that you need, feel free to reach out. My email is right over here, and we are happy to help. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our talk and looking forward to connecting. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kyle. Thank you for sharing with us. This has been an awesome presentation, and I know the audience is giving you a huge virtual round of applause. All right, for the audience, it's time for you to make your way to your next session. Along the way, make sure you accept your connection request and take some time to check out our amazing AI exhibits. Thanks so much, and we'll see you around.